Welcome back, class 11 to the online bio classes. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is fourth, animal kingdom. In this chapter you are going to study about some of the characteristics of animals and their classification into different groups and categories according to their similarities and differences and the characteristics which they show. So first of all, we will start with some of the peculiar characteristics shown by the animals and accordingly which they are classified into different groups. Like, what is the basis of classification? Basis means on which points we divide the animals into different categories. The answer is on the basis of symmetry, body symmetry, whether the body can be divided into two equal halves or not. On the basis of the presence of coelom, whether the animals are coelomate, acoelomate, or they are pseudo-coelomate, that is, they have the false body cavity. On the basis of their number of germ layers, whether they have two germ layers, they are diploblastic. If they have three germ layers, it is called triploblastic. Then we have the animals which are divided on the basis of the system of classification, that is, whether they have what level of organization, like if they have the cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, or organ level of organization, or organ system level of organization. Then on the basis of the segmentation means the divisions which are present on the surface of their body, like earthworm, the body is divided into many segments which is known as metameres. So like this, many segments are there on the body of earthworm. They are called metameres. So they are metamerically segmented, means having equal divisions on their body parts. So let's start with the levels of organization. Though all the animals, all the members which belongs to animal kingdom, they are multicellular, but some of them may be unicellular, like amoeba is a single cell or unicellular animal. So they show different level of body organization. Those animals in which their bodies are made up of single cell or a group of cells in which they work independently without any link with each other, they form or they show cellular level of organization. Some division of labor occurs among the cells. Example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregates. They are not working together. In coelenterates, the arrangement of cells is more complex. Here the cells perform the same functions and they are arranged into tissue in case of coelenterates, and they form tissue level of organization. Similarly, a higher level of organization, that is organ level system of organization, is shown by the flatworms, also known as platyhelminthes, in which many organs work together, or many tissues work together to form different organs which carry out different types of functions. So such animals in which many tissues work together to form like an organ exhibit or show organ level system of organization. In animals like Annelidas, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinoderm, and Chordates, organs group together or they associate to form certain systems. Like in our body we have the digestive system, which is made up of different organs like mouth, which consists of the food pipe, stomach, intestine. So all these organs work together in a coordinated manner to form organ system level of classification. Organization, sorry, not classification. So organ system level of organization is there. So a complete, like you will find that starting from the cellular level of organization, in which the body of animals is made up of cells which carry out their independent functions, up to organ system level of body organization is shown by different groups of animals. Okay, so this also forms a basis of classification of animals into different categories, whether they are cellular level body organization, whether they have tissue level of body organization, or whether they have organ system level of body organization, or they have organ level of body organization. So now you know that the digestive system in Platyhelminthes, that is the flatworms, has a single opening to the outside that will work like a mouth as well as anus. So it is called incomplete digestive system. So if asked what is the difference between complete and incomplete digestive system, a complete digestive system is the one that we have in human beings and many more animals, in which there is a separate opening for the intake of food and a separate opening for the removal of waste materials from the body, that is undigested food. That is called a complete digestive system. Like human beings have a complete digestive system, and incomplete digestive system is the one in which a single opening will function both for the intake of food as well as for the excretion, that is removal of undigested food from the body. Okay, undigested means the waste materials like feces. Now there are two types of circulatory system, open type and closed type. Open type circulatory system is the one in which the blood flow openly through all the body spaces, through all the tissues and cells, bathing all the cells, organs in it. Means such type of circulatory system is the one in which there is no proper movement of blood inside the blood vessels. Whereas in closed type of blood circulatory system, like we have the closed blood circulatory system, in which blood is pumped from the heart inside specific blood vessels which are called arteries that supply blood to all the body parts, and the arteries are further branched into arterioles, and these arterioles are further divided into smaller branches called capillaries. So through a network of tubes or ducts, blood is supplied to each and every cells of the body. Not directly, it is pumped from the heart to all the body cells and tissues. Okay, blood does not flow openly in case of closed circulatory system. Got it? Now next we have symmetry. Animals can be grouped into three types: asymmetrical, bilaterally symmetrical, and radially symmetrical. You should know the definition of each one of them. Asymmetrical means even if you draw a line from anywhere through any plane, this animal cannot be divided into two equal halves. Either you draw a line from anywhere. Draw a line means we are trying to bisect or divide that animal on the basis of their through a plane. So first one is asymmetrical. Sponges are asymmetrical. Example of asymmetrical animals are, we are talking about the symmetry. Symmetry means like mirror images or equal halves. Okay, it's called symmetry. Like in case of sponges, what you will find, they are asymmetrical. So there are three types of animal. Number one is asymmetrical. Okay, ASYMM. Asymmetrical. Example, sponge. So what is the meaning of asymmetrical? That definition you have to learn. That any plane that passes through the center does not divide them into two equal halves. So suppose this one is a sponge I have drawn. Okay. Now if any plane is passing through the center, like if this is the center part, if I divide it like this, it will not divide them into two equal halves. So line or the plane, this is the line which is called plane. If it passes through the center, like this is the center, both the body parts which are obtained, they are not equal or similar to each other. That is called asymmetrical. Okay. Now when any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, like in case of starfish. Okay, starfish, you know, 5 arms are there. Now through the center, if you draw a plane, it will divide them into two equal halves. So what is the definition of radial symmetrical? When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two equal halves, such type of symmetry is called radial symmetry. The second one is radial symmetry, and the third one is bilaterally symmetrical animal. Like we are human beings. So we human beings, if a line passes through the center it can divide us into two equal halves. Okay. So what is the meaning? Animals like annelids, arthropods, etc. The body can be divided into two equal halves. Like this one, earthworm is annelida only. If you divide, if a line passes through the center of that earthworm, both the halves, left and right halves, it will be equal to each other. That is called bilaterally. Bi means two, lateral means sides. So both the sides which are obtained are similar to each other. That is called bilaterally symmetrical. So understood about the symmetry. Now next is diploblastic and triploblastic organizations. Animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, like if this is the external layer called ectoderm, these ectoderm cells are present. Okay, this one is ectoderm. And the inner layer of cells is there, which is called endoderm. If two layers of cells are there, such type of animals in which they have only two layers of cells, ectoderm and endoderm. This is endoderm. So such animals whose body, the animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, external ectoderm, internal endoderm, they are called diploblastic. Diploblastic animals. Diploblastic animals. If it is in between these two layers, a layer, a mesogilia is present between ectoderm and endoderm, and the animals in which those animals in which the germinating embryo has a third layer which is known as mesoderm, like ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So middle layer develops into mesoderm, they are said to be mesoderm. So such animals which have three germ layers, they are called triploblastic. So according to the number of germ layers present, animals can be of two types, diploblastic and triploblastic. So some examples of animals who are triploblastic are Platyhelminthes to chordates. Okay. Now next we have the coelomates. What is coelom? The body cavity is called coelom. Okay. What is coelom? Coelom is the term given to the empty body cavity. So according to the presence of coelom, animals are of three types. Number one, coelomate. Number two, acoelomate. They do not have any body, coelom or body cavity. And third one is pseudocoelomate. So diagram is also there. You can see, like the body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. That is the definition of coelom. Our body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. So in your book also you can see the diagram is given there nicely. Okay, can you see the diagram? A layer of cell is shown. Now see, this one is the coelom part which is shown here. Coelom, the body cavity. Okay, so the body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. So here you can see that those animals or the animals which has coelom, they are called coelomata or coelomates. Example, Annelida, mollusca and arthropoda. So what is coelomates? Coelo, spelling you can see coelomates. The animals that possess coelom are called coelomates, and examples are Annelida, the one to which earthworm belongs, okay, arthropoda and echinodermata. Mollusca, arthropoda. So these are the animals which has got the body cavity or the coelom in it. Now, there are sometimes the mesoderm is present scattered in the form of scattered bodies like this one. Where is the mesoderm present? You can see the mesoderm is present here, scattered here and there. So such type of coelom which is false coelom is called pseudocoelomate. So you can see in the diagram pseudocoelomate. Okay. Now which animals possess this type of pseudocoelomate? Example, in Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes, the animals in which the body cavity is absent, there is no coelom, they are called acoelomates, like in flatworms or Platyhelminthes. So next we have to study about the segmentation. In animals, the body is externally and internally divided into many segments with serial repetition. Already I said in the beginning, like serial repetitions are there, they are called segments. Okay? For example, earthworm, the body is divided into many segments, that is called metamerism. So what is metamerism? The pattern of division of body into many segments is called metamerism. Now what is notochord? Notochord is a rod-like structure which is obtained or derived from mesoderm on the dorsal side, means on the back side of the embryonic development of some animals. Animals which possess notochords in their embryonic condition, they are called notochordates. So animals with notochord, they are called chordates, and the animals which do not possess notochord in their embryonic stage, they are called non-chordates. Example, Porifera to echinoderms, they are non-chordates. Okay. Now next we have to start with the important characteristics. In your syllabus you have to learn 5 characteristics of each phylum and 2 examples of each of the different groups or phylums of animals. So first one is phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera consists of the animals whose body contain pores, pore-bearing animals. Example, Cycon, bath sponge, Leucosolenia, Spongilla, Euspongia. These are mostly marine, means they are generally found in the seawater. They are primitive, multicellular animals, and they have cellular level of organization, means their body is made up of cells that aggregate together to work, and they have a water transport or canal system. They have a single opening through which called ostia, and the body cavity is called spongiocele. Then the body is supported by a skeleton which is made up of spicules or spongin fibers. The sexes are separate, that is they are hermaphrodite. Male and female sponges are present on different bodies, and they reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by the formation of gametes. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect. So any 5 characteristics you have to learn, like they are hermaphrodite, fertilization is internal, development is indirect, body is supported by skeleton made up of spicules or spongin, then they have a cellular level of organization. Any 5, and 2 examples name you can remember, Cycon and Spongilla or Euspongia. Similarly, we have phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata. They are mostly marine, that is found in seawater, sessile or free floating or free swimming. They are readily symmetrical animals. It is obtained, the name Cnidaria comes from such animals which has stinging cells called cnidoblasts, which contain stinging capsule called nematocytes present on the tentacles. Example, you can see the animals which belongs to it is the animals which belongs to it, you can say, is mainly the sea pain, sea fan, sea anemone. So what are some of the characteristics you can learn? They are found in 2 different forms, polyp and medusa form. The form which is sessile and cylindrical, like hydra, whereas the form which is umbrella shaped in free swimming, like jellyfish. So they exhibit in both forms, and they show alternation of generation, that is called metagenesis. Okay. Then next we have phylum Ctenophora. Phylum Ctenophora, they are commonly known as sea walnuts or cum jellies, and they are exclusively marine. They are symmetrical diploblastic organisms, we have already studied. Their body bears rows called cum plates which help in locomotion, and one important property of this animal is bioluminescence. Bioluminescence means the property by which they can produce light of their own. It is found in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate and reproduction occurs by sexual means. Fertilization is external and development is indirect. Example, Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana. Alright? So phylum Platyhelminthes or the flatworms, already we have studied that flatworms consist of the animals like tapeworm, whose body is like a very long tape-like organisms, and even the liver fluke. They are parasitic in nature. They live as parasites in our body and derive nutrition from us. Then what type of, how do they move? That we studied. Hooks and suckers are present in their body, which helps them to attach with the body of the host and derive their nutrients from them. They are mostly endoparasites and they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, acoelomate animals. Then we studied about the Aschelminthes, in which we studied about the roundworms. That is, sexes are separate. That is, male roundworm, female roundworm. They are different. They have different body size, and they move with the help of their body, with the help of setae which are found. And their alimentary canal is complete, and an excretory tube removes their body waste. Sexes are separate. That is, they are dioecious, and the body of Aschelminthes is circular in cross section, and that's why it is named as roundworm. Then we studied about phylum Annelida, in which we studied about the earthworm and leech, that these may be aquatic or they may be terrestrial and parasitic. They have organ level system of organization. Their body surface is marked out into segments, which are also known as metameres, and they have a special appendages called parapodia in case of Nereis, which help them to swim. Then nephridia is the organ of excretion. They have a circulatory system present which is closed type, and the two examples are Nereis and Pheretima, or you can write earthworm and leech. Then we studied about the Arthropoda, which is the largest phylum in which insects are present. The body of insect is divided into three segments or three parts: head, thorax and abdomen. And they have jointed appendages, or the leg. Circulatory system is open type. They have the sensory organs like eyes. They have a statocyst. They also have the balancing organs. They have compound or simple eyes. They have a statocyst for balance, and their excretion occurs with the help of Malpighian tubules. They are dioecious, that is, male and female are present on separate body. Development may be direct or indirect, and examples are Culex and Aedes mosquitoes. Any two names you can give. Then we studied about phylum Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and then we studied about Chordata. The animals which belongs to Chordata, they have a notochord present, a dorsal hollow knob chord is there, and a pharyngeal gill slits are there. Then you have to study the differences between chordates and non-chordates, at least 5 differences of both. And then we studied about vertebrata, which is divided into two, that is Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha includes Cyclostomata, and Gnathostomata we studied about Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces is the one which bear fins like the fishes. There are two types of fishes according to their skeleton. If they have bony skeleton, it is called osteochthyes. Osteochthyes. If their cartilage is made up of, if their skeleton is made up of cartilage, they are called chondrochthyes. Then we studied about the Tetrapoda, the animals which bear limbs, and examples we studied was amphibia, reptilia, apes and mammals. So amphibia are those which can live both on land and water. Example, frog, and then you can read the characteristics of those frogs. At least 3 characteristics are required, and 2 examples, like they breathe with the help of their skin, or they can also breathe with the help of their moist skin as well as their mouth cavity. 3 types of respiration is found: buccopharyngeal respiration, cutaneous respiration, as well as pulmonary respiration through the lungs. Then we have to study about the reptiles. Then one important term, cold-blooded reptiles. Amphibia, they are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded means such animals whose body temperature changes with the change in the temperature of the surroundings. Human beings and birds, we are warm-blooded animals because our body temperature remains constant and it will not change with changes in the temperature of the surroundings. Okay? So last one was mammals, in which you have to study the three characteristics of mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded. They give birth to their babies or young ones. The babies feed or suck the milk of from their mother, and they have hairs on their body. So some of the characteristics, any three characteristics you have to learn, and two examples of mammals you can give, cats and dogs. Then I have told one table is there, 4.2. So you can learn from that table all the characteristics, okay? And try to question answers. Try to find the answers of this chapter. Thank you.